Today we'll be using the TrueSharp from TrueCut. We'll be walking you through the basic steps on how to use the sharpener and how to get the best results without running into problems. First thing that we're going to start off talking about is the stones inside the sharpener. These stones, we have a diamond grit on them that makes it give you a more consistent and longer lasting stones. Every sharpener comes with diamond grit stones, a pair of fine stones that are pre-installed inside your sharpener, and a pair of coarse stones that come extra inside your packaging. And the purpose of this is so that when you have a really dull blade, you'll want to start with the coarse stones and get it till it's relatively sharp, and then change out your stones to the fine stones to finish the sharpening process so you get an even sharper blade. So for best use on your TrueSharp sharpener, you want to sharpen your blade whenever you start noticing you have to press a little bit harder to get through your fabric layers. And then every new project you begin after you've sharpened your blade that first time, you'll want to use the TrueSharp sharpener to sharpen your blade, so that way you can always have a consistent, easy cutting blade to get through your fabric layers. You'll never want to sharpen a new blade though, because if you sharpen a new blade, it's actually taking off that factory edge, and you won't ever be able to get it as sharp as your new blade. Then there's a couple things you'll also want to know about the blades when you're sharpening. If you have ever cut over a needle or a pin and you get a big ding inside of your blade, the TrueSharp sharpener cannot bring back a blade that has a cut in it or a big burr on the side that you can't be able to bring back. So here we have a dull blade in our rotary cutter. I'll show you how when you cut. It cuts the material, but it skips when you cut. So that's another sign that you know that you need to start sharpening your blade. So then once you do that, you take your blade out, put it inside your sharpener. When you sharpen your blades, you always want to make sure that you oil your stones and keep them oiled so that there is a nice oil layer on the stone that you can visibly see when you're sharpening your blade. When you sharpen your blade, you always want to make sure that you close it down nice and slow to make sure that the blade doesn't move. And press it down until you can latch it, and then take your hands off the sharpener and then just push the button on the back to start the sharpener up for 30 seconds. So after you've sharpened it once for 30 seconds on one side, flip your blade over. Make sure that the blade is centered in the sharpener. Re-oil the stones. And then close your sharpener again, nice and slow again. Make sure that that blade doesn't move. Lock down the latch, and then sharpen it again for another 30 seconds. So then after you finish that 30-second process, you want to flip the blade one last time and sharpen it again for 15 seconds. Again, making sure you add oil so you have a nice oil layer on your stones. And then when you're finished with your final 15-second sharpen, you want to lift the blade back up with the blade lifter. Put it back inside your rotary cutter. Reassemble your cutter. And then you try cutting again with a nice new sharpened blade. And sometimes after testing, you will find that there are still some flat spots in your blade, and you will need to continue the sharpening process until you have a final sharp blade. It can take multiple cycles to get your blade sharp. As long as you notice it getting sharper each time, continue the sharpening process. If the blade never gets any sharper or becomes duller, contact the tech team at Grace Company. Now when you're finished sharpening, you remove your blade from your sharpener. Put it back inside of your rotary cutter. And test out your new sharp blade on a scrap piece of fabric. If you have any questions or want to learn more resources can be found on our website at www.graceframe.com, or you can call us at 1-800-264-0644.